go. Hi everyone, and welcome to the Salt Watch training tutorial. We're gonna do it by video this year. To start, we're gonna want to drive to our sites. Obviously, I can't drive and record myself. That wouldn't be very safe. And we're all about safety. So, once you get to your site, we're gonna have you put on your vest just to make sure, once again, that we're safe. We want to be very visible to any cars or anybody that's out there that can see us and potentially, run into us or anything. So once you get to the site, you're gonna walk to where you're gonna sample at. That could be a bridge, the side of the bank, wherever you're gonna be at. Usually, most of the people that are sampling, they know where they're gonna be at. It's the same ones as last year. And if you have any questions about that, feel free to reach out to me. But once you make it to where you're gonna sample at, you're gonna bring your bucket and your rope out. And also make sure your kit is out of the bucket as soon as you go over and leave mats inside the bucket. So you don't want to throw your kit into the water. So I'm going to place it down for now. And then next is connect your rope to the bucket. Fix the carabiner. And then if you're going over a bridge, what you want to do, let some line out, enough to reach the water. Usually we're going over top of the side of the bridge. So keep going. And then once you have enough line out, you're going to step on the little coil here. Throw the rest of the line over the side of the bridge. Then we're going to flip the bucket upside down like this and then drop it. It should be a perfect scoop with the water. And then once it hits the water, we'll pick it right back up. And this is snow, so it doesn't really collect in the bucket that well. But we should have a nice bucket full for our sample. If you're on the side of a bank, what you're going to do is connect your bucket like you normally would. You're still going to step on it, on the coil, so that you don't throw it in the water. And you're going to toss your bucket out into the water and then reel it back in. And that should give us enough water for a sample. And then once you have the water in here, what we're going to do is take these little vials and only put about 1 inch of water in here. So this one's already filled up. So take your the water from the river or stream, take a sample bottle, fill it up, and you should have about 1 inch or so of water in the thing for our sample. And then once this is done, you can go back to the warmth of your car and do the rest of it. So
one last thing I forgot to mention while I was outside is that after you're done with your sample, or I guess I could do it now, but after you're done with your sample, you're gonna want to dump it out. And then when you get to the next site, make sure you take your vial or your bottle here and you rinse it out a couple times with your sample bucket, just to make sure we're not going to cross-contaminate, get too much salt in here, because it is a little bit hard to get that stuff out of here, or at least to dilute it when it comes from a really high site to somewhere that's lower. I had to dilute this a couple times because I put way too much salt in there, like I said earlier. So just make sure that when you're arriving to a new site or you get your sample bucket, you rinse these things out, because they can, skew our data results whenever we do get some contamination in there from the last site. So, okay, so now that we're back in our cars, nice and warmed up, in this case, I'm in the office. A little cold out there, so I do not want to be testing out in the 18-degree temperatures right now. So, get your kit. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take out the black bag. I have one right here already. This is gonna contain your testing strips. So you're gonna need this, your sample, then you're also going to need to get out this little card right here. So this is going to tell you, it's kind of like, it helps you read the amount in milligrams of chloride that are in the water. And then this QR code here, this is going to be our survey, which I will be going over with you guys a little later. So step one, take your sample, make sure it's on a stable location. You don't want to knock over, spill on your car. Take the cap off. And you're going to take one of these testing strips out of the black bag, which you look just like this. So I know it's probably backwards for you guys for focus. Yeah. So I'm going to put it in just like this with the Quantab letters up here. They're going to face up. So it's going to go right in your sample, 1 inch of water in there, just like this. So you just got to place it in there. And then all you have to do now is wait. So it's going to take about 10 minutes on average for it to fully fill up. And then this top line will black out, like there's ink in there. So it gets really bold and thickens up. And I'll show you that in a minute once it actually works. I put some salt in here, so hopefully I didn't overdo it, but we'll see here soon. And we're back. Okay, so as you can see, that top line is now kind of thickened up, and you can really see the difference when I hold the original up next to it. So this one's unused, and the one to the right is used. Just that top line gets really bold. It's pretty easy to see side by side here. So then what you're gonna do is take the test strip out, and you can kind of already see that like that yellow kind of line goes all the way up to about the 7 there. So then what you're gonna do is kind of you can get a closer look. It's a little blurry right here. Looks like it might even be at like a 7.2 there. So then we're gonna bring our little testing card around. And as you can see, we want to do the milligrams per liter, so one on the left over here. And we had, or sorry, the right line, we had about 7.2 or 7. We'll go with 7 for now. So 7, it's gonna be that number right there. So in our milligrams per liter, that's gonna be 462 milligrams per liter. And now that you have this kind of taken care of, we're gonna go over to the survey so we can fill that out. But while we're here, I'm gonna bring this sticky note over just so we can kind of see what that would be on our SaltWatch data. So this is kind of something that we pulled from the SaltWatch website. So we had 462 milligrams per liter. So that's gonna be considered toxic, so it's very high. I put way too much salt in there on accident. A little bit goes a long way. Here's gonna be how we're going to access our survey through our phone or a tablet, whatever you have, whatever you're using. I had to borrow Valerie's phone for this. But all you have to do is go to your camera app, open it up on your phone. Your phone should automatically scan it, but if it doesn't, just tap on the QR code. It's being a little funky now. And then this yellow thing on the bottom, click on that, it takes you to the survey, and then we'll fill it out. Now that we're in the survey, we can kind of see like what we're gonna see on your phone, the site name, everything should be in there. If it's not, let me know and I can get that updated. But for now, we're just gonna put the test because this wasn't really a site. And the name of monitors, that's me. It could be you, anybody else that you monitor with. Just put like a comma or a slash so we know who else is there. Date and time. I actually took this sample on Friday, so just by clicking on the date there, I can change that. And then the time, you can click on that as well, and then you can manually put in the time, or you can hit the little buttons up and down. For the temperature, it's already in Fahrenheit, so just put whatever it is that it was that day. For Friday, it was 18 degrees Fahrenheit. And then type of sample collected, as I mentioned in my email, we're gonna do 2 monthly samples and then a bonus sample for if you want to sample, after a big salting or snow event or whatever, you want to see what the salt content is at that time. Just click the bonus one for that one. Stream conditions, pretty simple, just fast, normal, little to no flow or frozen. So we're gonna click normal for now. And then ground condition, because it was frozen, there was snow on the ground. We click frozen for that one. The Quantab units are 7. That's where that little line reached on the testing strip. And then the chloride in milligrams per liter is the thing you get off the conversion table. And then you can always put in pictures of the testing strip if you want. And then within the comments, if you do click bonus, just explain it within there why you did it. And then this little check mark on the bottom right is what we want to click to submit the survey. For some reason, it doesn't show up on this stream recording. But after you click that, you're going to hit send now. And then once that's over, just wait for the little loading thing to complete, and then you should be all good.